Hey, what up, YouTube? It's your boy MOG, Saved by Grace. Hey, listen to this. This is probably one of the most important videos that I've ever made, believe it or not, bar none. Had a couple of YouTube channels, made a lot of videos, but I believe this one right here is probably the most important. If not, it's got to be in the top 5. But I've been kind of putting off making this video because I was trying to find out the best way to go about it. But I tell you this, right now we are in the beginning stages of a financial reset. Once again, I'm gonna say that again because it deserves to be repeated. Right now, in my own opinion, I believe we are in the beginning stages of a financial reset. Like I made a video a while back where I said that they are changing our money. And that video has proven to be true because they are definitely, I don't think so, I know so, they are changing our money. Now, I'm one that reads the Bible, and I'm one that believes what I do read in the Bible. And in the Bible, they talk about the Antichrist and the false prophet being a part of a system as to where one day you won't be able to buy or sell without the mark of the beast on your right hand or on your forehead. Without that mark, which makes certain that you pledge allegiance to the devil, the mark of the beast, without having it, you won't be able to buy or sell anything. In the past, I thought about it and I was like, wow, that's kind of hard to really pull off right now because we got different forms of currency. Being that you have different forms of currency and a lot of them are denominated in paper, one person, meaning the Antichrist, false prophet, one person can't really get control of that because there's different forms of currency. But fast forward, like I made a video months ago, been seeing it coming now. It ain't no longer just something that they're talking about doing. The government is actually doing it because they've changed regulations and they changed laws and rules to accommodate cryptocurrency. Now, to accommodate cryptocurrency can be looked at as a good thing or a bad thing. Could be a good thing because the paper dollar, the dollar bill that we have come so accustomed to having and spending, the greenbacks, and greenbacks ain't worth the money that they're printed on. Because over the years, all we do as a country is fire up the printing press, quantitative easing. In other words, printing money out of thin air. See, if you keep printing money out of thin air, the money that's already in the system, the dollar bills, they lose value. And that's one of the reasons that things are like they are right now. Because ever since I remember, each time we had a financial crisis, whether it been way back in the day, the dot-com bubble in the 90s, whether it was before that in 87, 88 when the market crashed, or since then, you know, we had 2020, you know, COVID, 2019, 2020, market crash, COVID. Then we had another one with tariffs and all, your boy Trump, in April of this year. And every time something happens, economy-wise, nation-wise, politically, we always print money out of thin air in order to give the stock market and give the country what they call liquidity. Liquidity is just a means to move money around, because I'm not sure if you all guys really know about it, but money is designed to move. Money doesn't just sit still. My money, your money either. If you really think your money is sitting in a bank somewhere just waiting to pay you interest, I would say you was probably born at night. And I would probably say it was last night, if that's what you believe. Because our money, if we have it in a savings account, it's not just sitting there waiting to pay us interest. Money is designed and was designed to always be in motion. In other words, when you deposit your money in a savings account, which I don't really know why you would, but if you deposit your money and have thousands of dollars sitting in a savings account, that money is long gone. As soon as you deposit it, probably minutes, maybe even seconds later, that money is sent out electronically and deployed to different banks in the form of loaning money from bank to bank, or in the form of being loaned out as a personal loan from person coming from the bank. But always advocate, instead of putting your money in a savings account. Savings account now, the average interest is like 0.02%, which is, I guess the best way to describe how much you'll make is if you have about $1,000 and you let the bank hold your money, $1,000, if you let them keep it for a whole year, the amount of interest that you will make will probably be less than $2 at the end of the year for letting the bank hold 1,000 of your dollars in a savings account. Let me say that again. You'll have $1,000 in a savings account, and chances are at the end of the year when you get your statement, you might make $2 worth of interest. Let that sink in. You let $1,000 of your hard-earned money sitting in a bank account, and the bank who keeps that money for you in that savings account for a whole year will be gracious enough to pay you only $2 at the end of the year. So to me, it's real simple. That means I don't have a whole lot of money just sitting in a savings account. Nah, because if anybody gonna make money off of my money, it's gonna be me, not the bank. Bank got more money than I got. So I'm gonna find some place to let the little bit of money that I do have rest and make more money for me anywhere other than sitting in that savings account at your local bank. Now, this isn't financial advice by no means. Anything that I say, you can kind of take with a grain of salt. Whatever your financial decision is or how you want to do it, that's up to you. But I can tell you not what I think. I can tell you what I know. The economy right now and what's going on in the gold and also the silver market, I've never seen it before. I've been doing this stuff for a long time. Since, 2009. Since I've been doing stocks and investments, I've never seen gold and silver race and spike like that against the overall market. And what I mean by against the overall market is this. Normally, gold and silver goes up in value as the stock market goes down in value. So what makes this right here unprecedented is the fact that the stock market, as far as evaluation, what stocks are actually worth, the valuations are higher now in the stock market than they have been in years, which means, simply put, stocks are overpriced. And if you really follow the stock market and you've been keeping tabs on it, the stock market in the past, I don't know, maybe since April, actually. Yeah, since April, the stock market has been on a slow grind going up slowly. Stocks have been going up slowly. But the problem is, it's not really a reason for stocks to continue to climb as they are climbing. Now, don't get me wrong, yeah, it's good to make some money. But the overall health of the stock market, I ain't never seen it like this before. Gold and silver both are at record highs. Gold is over $4,000 an ounce, probably $4,100 now. Silver is right at or even above $50 per ounce. And a lot of y'all may not remember, but I was pounding the table for people to buy silver years ago, back when silver was like $10 an ounce, $12 an ounce, and nobody really wanted it. Because what people don't realize is that the silver market in general, has been manipulated and held down in price artificially. And how that's been done is kind of what I want to make sure that everybody understand, because nobody's really talking about this on mainstream media. I don't hear a whole lot about this, on TV. So that's why I wanted to make this video, to tell you what's going on with gold and silver in particular. See, the way that silver is used for a lot of stuff. A lot of electronic stuff silver is used for. A lot of stuff that's like in cars, in the cell phone that I'm recording this video on right now. Solar panels. Silver is used by industries, automotive industries. Silver is in a lot of stuff. And we hadn't even talked about jewelry, silver bars, silver coins that people collect. Silver's been used for many, many things and will continue to be. But the price of silver has been suppressed and held down in value by the heavy hitters, the millionaires and the billionaires. They found a way to issue paper silver through ETFs and through silver trading funds. And see how that devalues the actual value of silver is like this. It's like a derivative, which is basically like a promissory note. See, they're trading silver basically that they don't have. See, that's why in order to really gain wealth, you have to actually possess and hold the silver that you own. Let me say that again. In order to actually profit from silver, guess what? You actually need possession of the actual silver. Because if you don't have physical possession of physical silver, in other words, if it's not in a vault somewhere owned by you, locked up at a bank or whatever, you just got a piece of paper. And that's the reason right now that silver and gold is spiking and racing higher at levels that we haven't seen before. See, what it is now, people are starting to really come to realization that they don't trust the dollar bill, the greenback. You know them little green pieces of paper that we got in our wallet and that we get out as cash from the bank? Nobody really trusts that no more. And as far as the world currency being basically denominated in dollar bills, that happened way back in the 90s, where Saudi Arabia needed protection by our military. So being that the United States were providing that protection for Saudi Arabia, they struck a deal with Saudi Arabia. So that they told us, the country of Saudi Arabia, like, okay, we'll protect you and your oil fields and all your precious minerals. We'll protect all of that if you have gold, if you have oil, priced in dollar bills. So that's what happened. Saudi Arabia agreed to that, to have their oil, that which is sold all over the world, to be priced in dollar bills. Now, when they price the oil in US dollars, guess what? That makes the rest of the world who needs that oil have to hold US dollars and also have to hold US Treasury bills in order to have what they need to purchase oil from Saudi Arabia. And I'll take you back further than that. Back in the 70s, I believe it was the ex-president, I think it was Nixon. He took us off of what they call the gold standard. Being that he took us off of the gold standard, that gave the government the green light to, yes sir, you guessed it, fire up the printing press and print dollars whenever they needed to print dollars for liquidity. In other words, for to keep money, as I said before, in motion. See, if everybody starts hoarding and stockpiling cash, guess what? Money's not moving. Money was made to move. So they took us off of the gold standard in the 70s. When that happened, that gave the government the ability to print money whenever they wanted to, for whatever reason they come up with. Print money, print money, print money, print money. That makes the money that's in the system, once again, less valuable. See, it used to be as to where every dollar was accounted for within the system. Every dollar used to be backed by gold. Whatever the spot price of gold was, it was directly connected to the dollar bill. So whatever money that we so-called had in our system, in our country, under our control, it used to be those dollars, those greenbacks used to be connected directly to physical gold. So that made our money more trustworthy. Used to be countries could take the dollar bills and exchange them with our government and get physical gold in place of those greenbacks. That gave people confidence in our currency, because if anything happened to the currency, they could take the dollar bills, take them and exchange them to the U.S. government, and in turn, the U.S. government would give them gold. No longer. It was good while it lasted, but being that they took us off of the gold standard, that's what that was called. Now, the dollar is not connected to physical gold anymore. Right now, you know what the dollar is connected to? I'm going to tell you. Right now, I'm going to tell you. That's what the dollar is connected to. What I just said. Nothing. Dollar is not connected to anything. So, unfortunately, our dollars over the years have been devalued. That's why I've been banging the table. Buy silver, and if you can afford it, buy gold. Because silver and gold, silver and gold, silver and gold. Silver and gold represent real wealth. Even if you just get $100 worth of silver, buy it. Even though silver's higher now than it's ever been, trust me when I tell you, it's going higher. It's at $50 an ounce. Silver is probably one of the best investments that you can make, because silver percentage-wise will probably outperform gold. And gold is going to continue to climb, because right now people are losing a lot of confidence in our greenback. Got the BRICS nation. What is that? Brazil, Russia, India, China, and also South Africa. Collectively, they're working together, and they're deciding to lean less on the U.S. and lean more on each other. Now, individually, none of those countries can really do us as an economy or as a nation much harm at all. They can't do much individually, but collectively, as soon as the rest of those countries around the BRICS nation start recruiting countries to join, and that right there, the only thing that's saving us now is that so far, and you notice I said so far, the U.S. currency is the dollar bill. Matter of fact, that's the world currency right now, is the greenback, the dollar bill. But what keeps that afloat is confidence. Once other countries lose confidence in our dollar bill, it's not going to be pretty at all. It's going to be like Lamont Aunt Esther on Sanford and Son. Not pretty at all. It'll fall apart, and it'll fall apart quickly. Matter of fact, there's never been a currency, paper currency, that has survived. I think the only one that has ever survived is the one that we have now, the US dollar. And this is so far, but I don't believe any paper currency has ever survived, except the one that we are barely hanging on to right now. So that silver spike that we're seeing now is a short squeeze. See what's going on? Those ETFs that I was talking about earlier, where gold and silver is being traded, guess what? They don't have the actual physical silver. A lot of investors, large investors and smaller investors who don't have millions of dollars, regular investors, they are trying to actually acquire the physical silver and the physical gold. They don't want that piece of paper no more telling them, oh, you got X amount of dollars worth of silver and gold. You have this many ounces and it's worth X, Y, and Z in dollars. That's no longer good enough. So the spike that we're seeing in silver and in gold is due to the fact that people want actual deliveries to come to their house or be sent to their bank. No longer do they want that piece of paper. Let me tell you something else. One of the best and the smartest moves you can make is to take those greenbacks that you have and trade them in every chance you get. Trade them in and get those greenbacks turned into physical silver. It's the cheapest thing. Everybody can afford it, even though it's $50 an ounce now. Most of us that's watching this video can still afford to get silver. Even if you save, get one a month, whatever the price is, it's worth it, because that silver or that gold, if you can afford it, that's going to preserve your wealth. Even if you think it won't matter, it will. Money sitting in a savings account is basically just evaporating. It's evaporating. So if you leave your money in a savings account, you might as well set it in a barrel, metal barrel in your backyard, and just start burning it, because it ain't gonna be worth nothing. Take what I say with a grain of salt. Make sure you talk to your financial advisor. Do what you gotta do. I don't know what you're gonna do, but what I'm gonna do, every chance I get, try to get rid of them greenbacks, because everything is going to the blockchain. and everything is going digital. This is a financial reset. This is not a drill. It's actually happening. So you got to decide what camp you're going to be in. You going to be in the camp of the haves, or do you want to be pitching your tent in the camps of the have-nots? Because pretty soon, it's going to be two classes of people. Which one are you going to be? I'm the one known as MOG, Saved by Grace. Holla at your boy. Make a move before it's too late. Can't say I ain't tell you. Peace.